I want you to sit back and tell me Joe Biden would ever receive this treatment right here. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all keeping well. This is the type of reaction you would expect to see back in Rome, back in the Julius Caesar days. You gotta check this out.
Yes, a hero's welcome for the former president at the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. Just a few hours ago, Trump waved to the crowd and stopped by the McLaren garage one day after Trump sized up the competition for his running mate in November. Now, some of the rumored VP contenders were all on one stage at the RNC spring retreat in Palm Beach, where the Trump campaign and RNC announced a massive $76 million fundraising haul for the last month. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera breaks down the potential running mates.
If you are proud of anything nowadays, whether it be your ethnicity, religion, your nationality, I'm proud to be an American. If I have love for America, people assume I hate other countries. It almost seems that the powers that may be that control the narratives are confusing love with hate.
Potential running mates.
The RNC Spring Donor Retreat this weekend allowed former President Trump to screen some of his potential running mates, but some of the rumored top candidates aren't sharing too many details. Listen here.
So they're going to speculate on the VP thing. Here's the good news, and I saw it this weekend. The amount of talent that we have in the Republican Party is extraordinary. He's going to have an extraordinary group of talented people that can serve this country in multiple roles.
There's a lot of names that are in the mix. I'm honored to have my names as one of them in the mix right now, but it is a true testament to the strength of the Republican Party.
Over 400 people coming to support the president and the Republican National Committee. It demonstrates the strength and the resolve. You couple that with poll numbers, and then, of course, the reality that Joe Biden, the master of disaster himself, is the very worst president our country has seen. That is why people are rallying around President Trump. He's going to be the 47th president of the United States.
Meantime, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's prospects may be in trouble. She's doing damage control again this morning for shooting and killing her 14-month-old dog 20 years ago. The story is laid out in her upcoming book. After killing her dog, she says she also killed their goat.
I want the truth to be out there and to understand that these animals were attacking my children, that we live on a farm.
Now, I'm not condoning what she did, but I don't think people quite realize the horrors that happen to animals every single day. Watch what happens when a horse breaks its leg. You think people are going to sit there nursing it back to health? No, that horse is as good as gone. So it's hard for us to judge her when we don't really know the full scope of what actually happens.
Trump about the VP pick.
I certainly expect to have a decision from President Trump in the next 60 days or so, but he did not bring it up. I certainly didn't bring it up.
Remember, Trump didn't reveal then Indiana Governor Mike Pence as his running mate until mid-July 2016. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox
What a
News.
pick that was, Mike Pence.
Leave is that nobody wants South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to be the VP pick. I think that there is indeed no going back. We could spend the entire hour talking on that, as we have backstage. But I want to talk about the others that are on this list, Tammy. Let's bring up the full screen there. Of course, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, Representative Elise Stefanik of New York, Byron Donalds of Florida, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and still on that list, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Tammy, which one of those excites you the most and why?
Well, you know, there just needs to be a big red X on the dog killer. There just needs to be. I mean, what's great about campaigns is that you learn about people and that it's a constant scrutiny. They say things that are important, whether they're good or bad. You see how people handle stress, what their character is or lack thereof. So I think that this, again, is what's very important in this regard. But at the same time, we look at those individuals. What we've heard, of course, is that the talent bench is deep. That is true. The benefit for President Trump this time around is he knows what he's getting into. Before, he did not. Neither did the rest of us. He presumed, like when you're running a business, that everybody's on the same page and everyone wants success. Not in Washington. So now he knows. And I think we're looking at a dynamic where he expected things from Pence that he did not get. He needs a teammate. This is not a frivolous decision. I'm sure he knows that. And I think he also knows the seriousness of what it means. He is thinking ahead usually for the country. I think I would accept, because I've learned to not second guess President Trump, whoever he wants, because he understands what's at stake. all of these individuals, with, again, -1, would be fabulous. Also, Sarah Sanders comes to mind. I mentioned Mike Pompeo on Fox and Friends this morning. Some people got upset. But the reality is all hands on deck for this, because we've got a big job, and he's got 1 term to do it, which means 2.5 or 3 years again, because they'll fight him. But the person who's in that spot has got to be able to be a ringer for 28 and 32.
I think that's important. Guy, I want to go to you because there's a lot of discussion when we talk about VP about checking a box. The left needs to check a box. They are married to that box of the things they need to check on it, the DEI list, if you will. On the Republican side, not so much, but is there still some sense of having to pick somebody that's got something, some kind of an X factor?
Why don't we just choose a person who is best equipped for the position? I don't care if you're Asian, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're Mexican, it doesn't matter. Who is the best at doing the job? How is this a controversial take at all? If you're going into battle, do you want one person out of every ethnicity to join you in battle? Or do you want the person that's going to be there to save your life because they're going to be prepared for it? And I know that's a drastic comparison, but I only say that just to put in your minds of how ridiculous the concept this truly is.
Just being qualified, and if so, which one of those potentials do you see as being the best fit?
Well, I think the conventional wisdom has been for a while that it's probably going to be a woman or maybe a person of color. I think that game was played by the current president with his running mate, and that has gone very poorly, I would argue, for the country and for him. She has not been an asset, I think, to put it kindly, to that administration. I'm not sure how much stake to put in any of these lists, right? Like, oh, the short list is getting shorter. Here's the 4 names. Here's the 5 names. Here's someone who's rising. I think a lot of this might be a head fake. There's a very good chance that Trump has known all along who it's going to be, or maybe he is really making this decision on the fly. He's got still several months to make it. I'm not sure why people would be upset, Tammy, with Mike Pompeo and his name being in there. I think it makes actually a lot of sense. Yes, he's not checking either of the identity boxes that you're talking about, but look at his resume.
Well, that's the problem for some, is the deep history within the government, which implies that he was able to survive that environment. I think, and wars, but I like him. I think he would fit somewhere very nicely.
Well, he was Trump's Secretary of State. They had a very successful foreign policy. He was a CIA director. He was in Congress. He served in the military. And I think more importantly than necessarily the resume is the steadiness. I think whoever Trump picks, whether it's, I'm just throwing Pompeo out there because you mentioned him.
Sure.
I think the most important factor for a lot of voters is reassurance. A lot of people are not reassured by Donald Trump. There's people who love him. They're going to vote for him no matter what. There's a universe of people that Trump needs to vote for him that need some extra reassurance, someone who is steady as she goes, someone who is low drama. And I think that type of person is important.
That was the exact philosophy that was used for Donald Trump to pick Mike Pence. And how did Mike Pence turn out? A lot of Trump supporters don't like Mike Pence. I personally am not a fan of Mike Pence. I think he is kind of a weasel, which makes Washington his home. I think we need someone new. We need someone fresh. Someone that, if worst case scenario, something happened to Donald Trump, this vice president would be just as efficient at getting this mission done. So I don't want anyone that's been in politics for a long time. I think we need a fresh face. I think we need Vivek Ramaswamy. That's my pick for VP. Tell you what, those alphabet letter agencies, CIA, FBI, they're going to be watching their back. If they do anything that is not for the best interest of the American people, then they're gone. We need people in charge who care for the everyday Americans, not other countries' best interests, not Ukraine, not Mexico, not Canada, America. We want politicians that put America first, and I would love to see that ticket. But I'm kind of curious, who would you guys pick as Donald Trump's VP? Drop it in the comments below. And what do you think? Do you think Trump has his mind made up already, or he's still kind of playing the field? But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to smash a like, comment, subscribe, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.